Hi, my name is Stephen Pope, and I'm my Amazon guy. I'm joined by Jason Moss. He's the CEO of Georgia Manufacturing Alliance. We're just about to kick off a partnership together, and we've got an event coming up where I'm going to be teaching manufacturers and wholesalers right here in Georgia on how to sell their products directly to the consumer on Amazon.com. So if you want to be participating in that, that's going to be on May 22nd. At 7:30 to 9 a.m. at the 1818 Club. We'll put the address and the details in the comments of this video, but it's at 6500 Sugarloaf Parkway in the Media Room in Duluth, Georgia. So that's coming up. So Jason, thank you for agreeing to talk with me today, and I'm really excited. And I just started in learning about manufacturing myself here in Georgia, and I got to ask you, do we still actually make stuff in Georgia?
Yeah, I tell you, I get that question quite often, and I recently had the opportunity to speak to a graduate class over at Kennesaw State, and I went through the room and I posed a question to this room full of students that are about to hit the ground running and start their careers, and I asked them, I said, "How many manufacturers do you think we have in the state of Georgia?" And one brave soul raised her hand and she said, "Oh, I think we've got about 30." And everybody just gasped, and they couldn't believe that somebody thought that we actually had 30 manufacturers still in Georgia. And one bumped the number up. I said, "Are you sure?" And one of them bumped it up to about 100. And then the most that anybody could fathom in the room full of graduate students at Kennesaw State was 300. That's the most anybody thought that we had as far as manufacturers in the state of Georgia. And they were blown away when I let them know the facts. I mean, the reality is we have over 10,000 manufacturing.
Wow.
And
10,000.
I mean, they're all over the map. I mean, everything from Zoom fishing baits to Caterpillar to Gulfstream airplanes. We got tons and tons of products. And we have over 440,000 people every day that go to work manufacturing products right here in our state. Now, the tricky part about that is the average consumer can't name even 3 things that are made in Georgia. Now, if we got 10,000 manufacturers and we got over 440,000 people every day making stuff, they're making a bunch of stuff. But if the consumer has no idea what's being made here, how can we be good stewards and be able to support our local businesses if we don't even know what to buy, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the big things that we're trying to do. I mean, this grassroots movement is really focused on helping bring awareness of the products that are made here and the people who make them. And our goal is to elevate manufacturing and bring that awareness of the products that are here, but also give the opportunity for folks to get engaged in the consumer relationship with these products. Many of them you already are involved with, and you don't even know it. So that's one of the things that we're out to do, is to help the manufacturers reach that consumer with that message of buy local and buy things that are made right here in their backyard.
Yeah, and the way I see Amazon really evolving here, so Amazon's come in and they've made everything fast and efficient, launched all of these fulfillment centers clear across the country, so it's easier to access products now. But I agree with you. I don't think people know how to identify something that's made in America, let alone here in Georgia. And
Right.
I think the future of Amazon is all about high quality goods that are made here in America, and why not Georgia?
Yep.
And so, we got a great state of Georgia here, and so I'm excited to work up with you on this, Jason. So,
One thing I meant to mention to you this earlier, but there's a great documentary. It's a movie, and anybody that's watching this video, I'd encourage you to go on Amazon. You can actually watch it on Amazon or Netflix. The movie is The American Made Movie, and not the one with Tom Cruise. This is a documentary about manufacturing. It's way better than the Tom Cruise one, I promise you. But it's a documentary about American manufacturing and the plight, the challenges that we've gone through as a culture, as a society, dealing with what is manufacturing and how do we support that. It's a great movie, and in that movie, one of the key players is a guy by the name of Mark Andall. And back in 2008, Mark ran a machine company, a machining company that manufactured snowplows and a variety of other implements. And this guy, 2008 hit, the economy took a dive, and he was looking around in his place, and he really was challenged as a manufacturing, having to compete against foreign governments, not just foreign companies, but those foreign governments really subsidized a lot of the manufacturing for products that he was making here. He was he said the raw goods for the products that he was making
Yep.
cost more than the landed products that were coming from other parts of the country. That's other parts of the world, rather. And he was challenged with that. The movie, Mark Andol, he created a thing called the American Made in America store up in New York. Unbelievable success. They have a chain of those stores all around the country. But he's a purist. This guy's all about it. He doesn't believe that it's made in America, and unless every component is 100% made in America. I mean, the glue on the back of the water bottles that are in the refrigerator at his store has got to be American made for it to count. Now he's definitely on one extreme, but I had thought about creating a made in Georgia store, right? Makes sense. This guy had great success with Made in America. I mean, he got busloads of tourists that come to his facility every day from all around the world. They come in, check out things that are made in America, and he's done great success with that. But the flip side of that is, I was like, man, we could do the same thing. And I looked at a venue right here on Downtown Square in Lawrenceville, and I thought, man, I could just do a Made in Georgia store. But I'm not the guy you won't sitting behind a cash register all day. That's not my skill set. That's not something I want to do. But then I would be competing with like Walmart and Home Depot and Lowe's and companies like that. And there's no way with my buying power that I could compete as a retailer. I really didn't want to do it anyway. But I've been struggling trying to figure out, since 2008, how can we get these products and highlight the things that are made in Georgia to the consumer, bring that awareness up and give people an easy avenue, a way to connect things. And I run an association called the Georgia Manufacturing Alliance, and that organization is designed to help business to business, help businesses connect with each other. And we do plant tours and networking events and that kind of thing. And we created the Georgia Manufacturing Directory about 2.5 years ago. And that was my first kind of connection into Amazon. So what we did was, we created the Georgia Manufacturing Directory, and I really wanted it to be a bestseller. So we positioned all the parts and pieces. We did a whole product launch. We developed this beautiful 60-page color directory with all of our members. We put it up on Amazon, and that was almost the death of me. I mean, I tell you, I'm a pretty technical guy.
Yeah.
And I committed, but the challenge that I had being able to get products, get that one store set up, and get my product on it. It is a simple product in a simple store, but it was really difficult. And it was important for us. It was very important for us to get that to the bestseller status and get it available online and that kind of thing. But I went through that struggle, and I thought, man, if it's this tough to get products listed on Amazon, I understand why more of our manufacturers don't have their things listed there. So I did it for me, but I wasn't in a position to train anybody because, heck, I forgot half of the buttons that I clicked to make it work. I clicked just about all of them, I think, on Amazon.
There are quite a few.
Yeah, there's lots of buttons. But fortunately, we did get it to bestseller, and it's been bestseller pretty much on every issue that we rolled out there. And it's a great delivery method. The first ones we did, oh my word, man, we did our own fulfillment. That was not a smart move.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, lots of time and lots of stickers and lots of bags. And then I got introduced to FBA, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But
for those that don't know what that stands for, that's Fulfilled by Amazon, and that's one of their own warehouses. But go ahead.
Right. And that's a genius opportunity for some people. It's not a fit for everybody, but for us, it has been a lifesaver, and it makes things work really well for all of our consumers. But again, I was looking at building a retail store, figured out, man, there's no way in the world I could compete with Walmart, and we got our product, our directory listed on Amazon. And I've been struggling, man. I've been trying to figure out how in the heck could we help our members be more successful and get their products available. Because I'm convinced more than ever, if you don't have your products on Amazon and available through the internet, you won't be in business in the next 3 to 5 years.
I wrote an article 2 years ago where I said, if you're not on Amazon, you're irrelevant. And
exactly.
So we're aligned on that concept. So it sounds like you're glad that you went through that process. You're glad that you got on Amazon. But now you're thinking about, how do you help these other manufacturers out there?
Yeah.
And then
what we found was there's a bunch of challenges and a bunch of things that I could kind of foresee. And again, Steve, I'm so thankful that you connected with us because of your experience and knowledge in the industry. And I want you to share just a little bit about who you are, kind
Sure.
of share your background, some of the successes that you've had, and then also maybe touch on some of the things that we might be able to help our members, some of the challenges, help them avoid some of the challenges that are out there on manufacturing day. So tell us a little bit about your background and your history and some of the folks that you've worked with in the past.
Yeah, so my bread and butter customer is a manufacturer or wholesaler who hasn't gone B2C yet. And if they have got a retail presence, then I can help them scale it as well. So my background is purely in e-commerce, and I actually started my career out as a television reporter, went back to school, picked up an MBA, and then broke into digital marketing, and I've been doing that ever since. And the first thing I sold was a Magic the Gathering card on eBay, just to nerd out a little bit here with you, Jason. But and what I learned from that early stage in selling that process is I was like, oh my gosh, it's possible to move products online. And I didn't even know there was this thing called e-commerce back then, but yeah, and Amazon came along and you started out as a book company. A lot of people don't know that. And I have been selling on websites, marketplaces, pushing emails out, affiliate marketing, digital advertising, shopping engines, you name it. But I have a passion specifically for Amazon. And that's really kind of where I've been niching myself lately. And I have found that in working with manufacturers that there's a really big need right now and a high demand to go in there and help them take their awesome products and get them in front of consumers, but take that one step further, make them findable. And so a lot of the things that we'll be talking about at this event coming up in May is to launch products directly on Amazon.com. And it's not a straightforward process as you kind of let on, right? It's not as simple as I've got a product and I'm going to click a couple buttons and boom, I start getting sales. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it already. And a lot of people are doing it, but here's the thing. Online sales are growing rapidly, right? They're taking a lot of the brick and mortar sales away. Amazon's growing like 2 or 3 times faster than a typical website or other online. So the space is getting rapidly larger, so there's even more demand from the consumer to go there. So there's a lot of reasons why a manufacturer would want to launch on Amazon. So number one, it's the future. I think we've kind of laid out the inherency behind that, right? That's where consumers are going. Number two, though, is margin. So if I've got a product that I normally sell for $10 at wholesale, I can go and flip that for $20 to the consumer. Now there are a couple of more fees involved in selling that good, but typically speaking, you're gonna be able to massage your margin larger. And although it does take a little bit more effort, if you position the products correctly, you can scale your business and get incremental sales. So not only do you increase your margin, you get better control of your future. You get the ability to gain customers you wouldn't normally have had, and you gain control of your branding. So if you want your brand to be the first thing on Amazon search results when somebody goes to Amazon.com, there's a lot of things you have to do right. And it takes sales to get sales, and there's this thing called the business rankings. And so when we do this event, we'll go into the granular detail on step by step on how you do every one of these things successfully, and then also kind of talk about a program where we can help you as the manufacturer do this end to end, or even just do a small test if you're not ready to go full force into it.
Yeah, that's cool. I tell you, that's one of the things that I looked at when we were talking about setups, and we've got some really killer programs put together for our GMA community, our Georgia Manufacturing Alliance community, and we'll be rolling those out at this educational session. Now we know, I mean, it's clear that not every manufacturer this is going to be a fit for, but those companies, the people that we're looking to be able to introduce this to are the folks that have an interest in either growing their e-commerce presence or starting one. Even if they don't have anything at all set up, and this is step one. If they don't have anything set up, that's a group of people that I think will benefit from this. And then the secondary, again, if you've already got one but it's not producing the results that you're doing, Our goal is to help every one of our manufacturers be more successful and more profitable in what they do, and getting this message out. You know, if we do it through e-commerce, man, that really helps speed that along, and helps our manufacturers be, again, more successful and more profitable in all that they do. But we got to, we want to make sure at GMA, we want to make sure that we give them the tools. I mean, we do trainings on LinkedIn and safety and lean manufacturing. And I mean, it's crazy that we hadn't done one of these. I mean, well, it's the only reason that we hadn't done one of these is because I hadn't been able to identify a professional that really knows what to do to coach them through that.
There's a lot of people out there that say they do this, right? And so how do you know for certain? You asked me to tell you a little bit about myself, and I probably need to go in a little more detail there. So I've helped more than 50 brands launch specifically on Amazon. And, I launched one on April 2nd of this month. We're, April 28th today. They've already doubled their sales since launching with me. And that's not a one-off story. I grew one of my own businesses called Fine Occasion to 500K gross in a year. I sold that to my business partner, and I'm trying to do more full-time consulting now. And so there's a lot of steps that you do to get involved in that. And there's a lot of complications that can come up. So some of the complications that I've helped manufacturers overcome, number one is logistics, right? So if you're running a warehouse right now, and no matter if it's small or large, when you do wholesale, it's kind of like the difference between shopping at Costco and Kroger, right? When you start doing retail, that warehouse is shipping boxes around in a little bit more of the Kroger style, right? And so it's a different beast. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just different. And when you've been used to doing things a certain way for so long as a manufacturer, a new process and a new step can be daunting. So bringing in somebody to help out with that is very helpful. So I help overcome some of those logistic pain points, helping manufacturers know where to send their goods and how to send their goods, because it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
The other thing is how do you get the products actually physically listed, and how do you make sure that your product is findable, because when you go to launch your products, you need a lot of product data set up, right? So it's not just sending out your price sheet to Amazon and saying, here you go, right? So I go in there and I help massage some of that data. Now, typically speaking, manufacturers know their products better than anybody else. But what they don't typically do a great job of is passing that information on. And so what's the color? What's the size? What's the material? What's the weight? How do I know what the product is used for? Tell me about the selling proposition. What are those marketing values? Give me all that information, right? So I take that information in whatever form it's currently in. I massage that data. I make it readable for Amazon, and then I help get it launched. And so even if you do all of that right, then there's a lot of other complications, right? So Amazon's fulfillment centers are getting fuller and fuller, so they're raising that bar, making it even harder. And you have to know about hazmat. If you got a battery in your product, you got to deal with battery regulations and all those situations, right?
Or plastic bags or whatever.
Yeah. Some states are cracking down on that. How many days of supply should you have at Amazon, right?
Yep.
What about storage fees? All of these things add up, and it can be very cumbersome. So if you want to stay in the business of just give me an order and I'll ship it out, using a third party, i.e. my Amazon guy, to come in and help direct that can be very effective. And so that's definitely something we'll go into a lot more detail on our event. But it takes a lot to be successful. It does take a partner who's done it before. Otherwise, you're spending all of your time learning that process end to end. And even if you do learn it, you may not be executing it the way that you may think might be effective.
Yeah, one of the things that we always talk about at GMA is if we can help our members, through sharing best practices, avoid just one landmine that they were about to step on. It's worth it for everybody, right?
You might lose a limb if you don't.
If somebody has gone through that path and gone through the struggle and figured it out, and if we can give them the tools to be successful and make that path clean, that's what this is all about. Now, this session that we're going to be doing is educational only. There's not going to be any sales at all. What we're going to do is we're going to roll out and talk about, what is Amazon? How does it work? What's FBA? What are different third-party fulfillment opportunities, even outside of FBA. What makes sense? What are maybe you want to touch on some of the other platforms, the e-commerce platforms as well. We're going to touch lightly on
Jet,
that.
Walmart, Sears,
yeah.
Rakuten,
Walmart.com. Really? Yeah.
Seriously, eBay. Price falls. There are many to count, and then you got shopping engines where they're still buying from your website, but you're paying per click. You got eBay Commerce Network. You've got Connectivity. There are so many programs out there, and it's like, where do you put your money? Where do you put your products?
Yeah, and what we want to do is we're going to, again, this is an introductory session. It will be, you're going to be able to walk out of there with knowledge that you didn't have when you came in, guaranteed. You're going to be able to figure out if this is a path that you want to go. And then, and then what we're going to do is throughout the year, we're going to lay out some kind of game plans and some tools so that we can help people along the path. And I had somebody reach out to me earlier and ask me, why would we add this right now? We got so much stuff. Our organization.
There is a reason. I can imagine that now would be better, right?
There's a reason that we got a timing on this thing. So our organization, what we do is we do a lot of plant tours, networking events, and educational sessions. In 2017, our group, we had over 3,000 people attended events that we hosted, and we did 115 events around the state.
That is like one every 3 days. That is a lot of events.
We were cranking it out. And the goal is to help industry professionals connect with each other and learn best practices. And we've done some great educational sessions last year. This year, we've already done 43 events and had well over 1,000 people attend events that we hosted. And just about everything that we've done sold out. So again, if there's still tickets available when you watch this video, go ahead and register because it will most likely sell out. But one of the things we want to do is we want to make sure that we provide that education, give people the opportunity to get plugged in. And again, the different tools that are out there, we want to make sure that those, we give the foundation. We're not going to be able to train everything at this session, but the timing is very important.
What's coming up in July? I understand there's something coming up.
That's a good timing as for the past 4 years, Governor Deal has presented to me and my leadership team a proclamation declaring July Buy from Georgia month. Now, our organization is not lobbying. We don't do any political stuff, but one day a year we go to the Capitol because it looks really cool on the cover of a magazine, and the governor and the whole leadership of the state of Georgia works really hard to make Georgia the best place to do business. And we won tons of awards in that. But this Buy from Georgia proclamation gives us a point. And the proclamation is July is Buy from Georgia month. And we got some cool stuff that's going on that. This past year, we've developed a website called buyfromgeorgia.com. And it lists, check this out, it lists all of the products that we're aware of that are manufactured in Georgia and are currently available on Amazon. So what this does, it's pretty neat kind of how all those pieces tie together. Because we've told the story, but we've never been able to really quantify the success that we have had in communicating buy local, buy Georgia manufactured products. So let's just imagine, if you will. Imagine that if you walked into Home Depot and you needed to buy a Home Depot or Walmart, and you needed to buy some batteries for your remote control. You needed some AAA or some 9 volts. You saw 2 displays. One said Energizer and the other said Duracell. Now for batteries, we've all, and those are similar products, similar price. We've all bought both, right? But what if you knew for a fact that the Duracell AAAs and 9 volts are made in LaGrange, Georgia, and support 400 Georgia families? Which ones of those batteries would you buy?
I'm going to take the one that gives Georgia jobs.
Duracell every time, right? Well, that's cool. But I've told that story. If I've told it once, I've told it 5,000 times. But we have no idea
how many batteries you've helped sell.
Right, how many batteries. But now with this website, we're able to see. Now, I can't see when Stephen goes out and buys some batteries, but I can see that some batteries were purchased through this website. And we can go back to Duracell and say, hey, man, look, 10,000 batteries sold this month as it relates to people that want to buy local. So that's a plus. Now, let's just say that we increase the sales of Duracell batteries by 10%. 10% on 400 jobs would be what?
That means 40 people can get hired, hopefully.
Right. Yeah. Now, we take that same mentality, that same philosophy, and we multiply it times 1,000 companies and 1,000 products. Man, Georgia has the opportunity to really lead this manufacturing renaissance. just through internal consumption if we educate our consumers, right? And that's what this whole website is about, buyfromgeorgia.com. If you're a manufacturer and your products aren't listed on this website and they're already on Amazon, let us know. We'll be glad to list them on there for free. If your products are not on there and you want to figure out a way to get them to be listed on this page, then this training is designed specifically for you. Now, we're going to be doing in the month of July. Our hope is that we'll get the proclamation again this year. And we'll try to do that kind of towards the late end of June so that we'll be able to do a lot of media push. Because in July this year, in 2018, in July, our goal is to do 18 manufacturing plant tours in 18 days all around the state of Georgia. And that's going to be a blast, man. If you happen to be in the area and you want to come see how stuff's made in your community, come plug into some of those events. But with all this media and all this publicity that we're going to be doing, this cross-branding, your brands, your manufactured products, even if it's fresh on Amazon, it's just now getting out there, the opportunity to cross-brand and cross-promote with companies like Clorox and Duracell and King's Hawaiian and Coca-Cola, your brand equals those at the same level by having it on the same platform, on the Buy from Georgia platform. I mean, Coca-Cola doesn't have any preferential treatment over your product that we just, helped you get on Amazon. So I tell you, it's an exciting time, and this evens the playing field, and it really kind of helps balance out the spend that companies spend on marketing, and it lets people kind of piggytail on all the things that we're doing around the state. So
if you're a manufacturer at home right now, and you're wondering, or you're watching this in your office and you're wondering, can I do this? And can I do this now? Is it not too late? And the answer to all those questions is you can, and we can help. And so we hope to see you there again. I'm going to give just a quick plug on the time and location of the event. Again, we'll put this in the comments of the video, and you can also find the details at GeorgiaManufacturingAlliance.com. But it's coming up this Tuesday, May 22nd, 7:30 to 9 a.m. It's at the 1818 Club. And we'll have the address in the comments. So Jason, I'm really excited to do this event with you. And there's going to be a lot of people that come to this, and they're going to learn what does it take to launch my products on Amazon, and we're going to help them do that. So just to kind of tell you who I am again, so I'm Stephen Pope. I'm My Amazon Guy. You can find me at myamazonguy.com, and I hope to be your Amazon guy if you're a manufacturer as well. But Jason Moss, he's the CEO of Georgia Manufacturing Alliance, and you can tell from this video, this guy, he's got a passion for all things made in Georgia, and it's contagious. It is a contagious thing, and we hope that you find some time in your schedule coming up to join us for that. And if not, at least reach out to us, come to our websites, and then there was another website,
buyfromgeorgia.com.
Yeah, buyfromgeorgia.com. So there's another one to check out and get your Amazon listings on there to get some additional plugs and help your business rankings and help your sales out on Amazon. So
yeah, and to register for that event, you can go to GeorgiaManufacturingAlliance.com. Just Georgia Manufacturing Alliance. Click on the upcoming events, and you can scroll down, and you'll be able to see with all the details about what this event is, directions and registration. There is a small fee for attending that event, but we'll be providing you breakfast and some great education. And when you come out of there, you'll be charged up and ready to go and to grow your products and brands for sure.
Well, perfect. We'll share some trade secrets, no doubt. All right. Yep. Well, perfect. Thanks for watching with us, guys. Hope to see you there. We'll see you next time.
Sounds great.